Hi, this is Paula from A Land of Craft, and in this video I wanted to take you through the new Brother Canvas Workspace. Now this is a software driven workspace as opposed to the online one you may be used to using to edit your FCM files and so forth. So this one you actually download to your computer, but at the moment, as far as I can tell, it is only available for the PC, so only for Windows computers. I'm hoping they do a Mac version, I really do, because I use a Mac. But you can see at the moment the mat still looks the same. Pretty much all your edit options are still in here, but they just moved around a bit. So let's just run through quickly. At the top you see your file. You can see this is where you save, import and that sort of thing. Edit, so you've got a lot of edit tools here. Layer, now that is new and I'm going to go through that with you quickly later. It is really good, I like it. Display, this is just zooming in, zooming out, hiding the mat and that sort of thing, showing how you want the mat to look on the screen there. And then you've got some help options. Okay, so over on this side, you can see here, this is where all your shapes and all those sort of things are now. So you click on that and it opens out, and you can see this is great. They've actually put all the shapes into sections now. So you've got all the squares together, rectangles, polygons and so forth. So they're all there. So as always, you just click on one and it puts it over on the mat here. I'll put two there, I'll just delete that. You've also got your borders and also words, like you did before. That's still all there, so I can close that up. Now the text option is slightly different here, because what you can do now is use any font on your computer, which is awesome. So if you've been using the type converter tool, you don't have to use that anymore. You can just come straight into here and type straight into here. So if I click on the text option, you see up here you get a new option appear. If I click the drop down, you can see these are all the ones on my computer here. So just click on one and I can click there and just type in. So I've got any text I want now, which is awesome. Okay, oops, I'm just going to make that a little bigger. Oops, just having trouble there, grasping that, there we go. Okay, so we've also got the SVG option, so that's just for importing SVG files and also the FCM files that you want to work on. This one here is an image tracing function, so if you click on that, you can just import an image. So you click on it and you can import an image from your computer. Okay, so I don't really have anything on here, something like that, and open, and it will process it through. So that's that option. Same thing again. Now I am getting an error message whenever I try to do this. I haven't been able to use this properly. I'm assuming it's just an issue with the software. It's new, so there might be bugs. Could be the version of Windows I'm using. I'm using an old Windows 7, so who knows. But at the moment I can't get that to work. So, but you can see here you've pretty much got the same sort of options. You can crop the size, trace outlines, trace by color and so forth. So slightly different, but basically the same there. Okay, I'll just close out of that. Down here we've got the path options. So this is for drawing things. When you click on that, you can just draw a triangle like that sort of thing. Not sure where I'm getting a curve there, but there you go. All right, this is a freehand path, so you can just draw basic, drawings like that, depending on the smoothness of your mouse. And if you're on an iPad, you might be able to use a pencil to draw better, but I've never really used that function anyway. So I'll just delete that. Okay, so over on this side, what we've got is, these are really all your edit functions, and they're over here now instead of up the top, which is really, really good. It's a much better system. So looking a bit like, more like the Silhouette, if you've used the Silhouette Studio sort of software for the Cameo. Very similar. So I'm hoping they'll start introducing more and more functions here that the Silhouette has, because the Silhouette is, I think, a little bit more advanced than anything the ScanNCut has had in the past. So I'm hoping now that it's software based, they'll be able to introduce more options. Okay, so all I need to do is just say click on an image here, and you can see you get different options. You can cut or draw depending on what you want to do there. Fill options, so I can fill by color. Now this is new, there's much more colors now to choose from. Remember that the colors make no difference in terms of cutting. You're not coloring anything to cut that, to make that color. It's really just on the mat here as a visual thing to help you when you're designing. So I can click on that, click on this one here and so forth, and choose my colors. So really, really good. Here, I think this is new. This, to me, the width of the line here, I don't remember seeing that in the online version. So you can thicken the line there. I could be wrong. Dash pattern is still here, so you can create a dash line around things as you could with the other version. So that's good. Text, when you click on the font here, you can see you can actually change the font now. So I could click on here and change it to whatever's on my computer again. Style, depending on the font you've chosen, you'll get different options here. And character spacing, so that's to make it just space out the text and then bring it back in. So if you wanted to weld, you just click on that to bring it all the way back in, and you could potentially weld that now. Okay, so that's the first option here. If I click on this edit option, you can see here this is position and size. So if I click on something, it just moves it along, so you can nudge it along to different areas. And same with width and height, change width, height, that sort of thing. This resize is just to resize by a percentage rather than by inches or millimeters or whatever. Okay, transfer, that's just to rotate like that, and then you can flip. So all these things are basically from the previous version, just over on this side, which to me is a lot better. It's a lot more intuitive having it all over here and in one section instead of having to click drop downs and that sort of thing. So really quite like that. You've got your align tools here. When you select two or more, you can align things center and all that, align to the right, and same with your process overlaps. These are all your welding tools, your subtracting tools. If we wanted to weld, highlight the two, we can weld those two together like that. So that's how we do that. So what else have we got? The offset tool is here. Now I'm really pleased that they've actually fix this, because in the online version you couldn't create a 1/4 inch border. So the offset tools, like you can add a seam line if you want, a border on anything, but for quilters, you know, you could only ever see how when you click on this it's only going to 24. Now on the online version you couldn't change that, but on here I can actually delete and go 25 and have a 1/4 inch. So that's really great, that. Okay, what else have we got? This is the new layers function over on the side here. So if I click on that, you can see this I really like. If you've used Photoshop, you'll understand what this is all about. But basically it's the different parts on the screen here. So there's the shape there. This is the, and you can see I can actually change the wording in there. So I can type in whatever I like to any of those. But the triangle is showing as being on the top. So what that means is if I hold it over everything, you can see it's actually layered over everything. I can actually move that if I want to somewhere else. I can move it to there, and then that would be now under the text like that, but it would still be over the shape like that. Now that comes in handy when you're doing things like welding and that sort of thing, subtracting, because sometimes one layer has to be over the other and not behind it. You can also see here you can change the option to cut or draw, whether you want it to just draw when you're putting it through your machine, or cut. And you can also hide it from the screen. So if I just want to work on the text for a minute, I can do that. I can just work on the text by hiding everything else, bring them back. And I can also lock things. So if I want something specifically on the screen and not move it, because sometimes you might accidentally move it, I can lock it. So if I click there, you can see I can't move that triangle anymore. So the triangle stays fixed, but I can move these other ones around. Okay. So the next section here is the artboard, and this is basically just major changes to the screen really. So you've got a 12 by 12 mat we're working with now. I can change that to a 12 by 24 if I want. I can add a ruler, you can see there along the top, and I can also change it to millimeters if I want, or stick to inches. I've also got view options here, like I can stop the mat from showing. I don't have to show the grid, and I can also increase the grid spacing here if I want. You can see how the grid here gets bigger or smaller. Now there's one thing here, the snap to grid, I really love. This is new. I'm just going to zoom in on the screen just so you can see how this works. Snap to grid. So if I click on that, all right, what I'm going to do first is hide everything on the screen. Come back to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you how the snap to grid works. So I'm going to choose a shape first of all. So I'm just going to choose a square. Okay, now when I have snap to grid off, which is the default, you can see I can move it around and I can line it up anywhere. It's in the middle of these grid shapes. See, there's a grid there, but I can move it so that it sits in the middle of that grid and so forth. Now if I put snap to grid on and I move this around, you watch what happens. It actually, when I move it, it's only going to move to the next possible grid. I can't move it halfway in the middle. So it's snapping right to a grid. If I take that off, I'm just going to delete that. And I'll show you what else you can do here. If I come down to the path tool, click on that, Now if I wanted, I've got snap to grid off at the moment, so if I draw a triangle, if I click there, there, there and there, that's not too bad. Okay, it's not a bad triangle, but it's not perfect. You can see it's actually running crooked here. So there's that one. If I put snap to grid on and come back to the path tool, now if I try it and click there, now you see how it's following me, but it's only going to each grid. See that? If I move it down, it's going to the next point of the grid. So I can make a perfect triangle. Look at that, it just comes out absolutely perfect. So that is awesome. I love that snap to grid option. So just before I finish up, I just wanted to go through just a few things that are missing, as far as I can tell so far anyway. You can't access the projects, you know, those projects that Brother provide, those free ones, the little cards and all those sort of little projects you can create in there, they're not accessible on here. Anything like if you've done an upgrade, like bought a pattern collection or bought the rhinestone kit or anything like that, none of that is available on here. Also, you can't save to the cloud. Like on the online one, you could save into their system, so it was stored sort of in a cloud. Now you just save to your computer. So you're saving projects to your computer. They're saved in a specific format, and you can open them up just by accessing them from your computer. But otherwise, this is great. I'm loving it. I'm hoping they go further with this and start adding a few more features and different things like that. Just it works a lot easier. The online system was getting really buggy. I was moving things on the screen. They just move of their own accord and do all sorts of things. So I'm hoping this is more stable. Seems to be so far. I'm liking it. So give it a go. I'll give you the download link below this video and let us know how it goes. We will be creating a training course on it as we do. Just check out our training course. We're at alandaonline.com is our training academy, and you'll be able to see all our training courses for the ScanNCut if you need help there. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons of ScanNCut videos for free on here. So thanks for watching.